Would a Neolithic hunter be impressed by an elephant gun? Would slaying a mammoth in a single great boom impress him? With his ears ringing from a sound unimaginable, would he see you as a hunter at all? When the firearm was explained, if you pulled the round apart, poured the powder out, and set the bullet in his hand, would the wonder in his eyes sour into a scornful look at your cowardice? The question I just asked you doesn't really matter. It ignores the principle of the gun debate, but I see its idea often smugly paraded. That particular brand of honor is nothing more than a tool, a notion our minds evolved to face overwhelming challenges of our past. But our situation has changed, and it changed long ago. Our greatest daily threat isn't cold and dehydration or predators, it's other humans. Millions suffer from violence at the hands of mankind, assaulted sexually, physically, and even mortally. Tools outpaced evolution and defined our species. Guns surpassed everything before, granting fantastic, terrible, and awesome power to all of humanity. They are a part of our birthright, inseparable from a free people and the modern human being. Cries of guns are for cowards or historical figures wouldn't understand modern weapons are often repeated by major figures and outlets. People will argue that the average person doesn't need a gun, that the military or police, people often chosen with dubious qualifications, moral codes, and a loyalty to the state or themselves above all, are now the ones who provide safety and will respond if danger arises. They misunderstand the human condition, the proximity of death or violence. Your whole life can shatter in seconds at the hands of man. You are asked to surrender your agency and trust that the danger will follow suit. We are in a constant struggle to survive, and while the state has developed along us, from the tribe to the city to the empire to republics, and now democracy is considered our most developed form yet, however, have always existed with contention towards the individual, often being machines of violence at a scale that no man could imagine. Every authoritarian nightmare first took steps to de-arm their populations, to ensure the safety of the tyrant. The idea that a danger so immense should be declawing the human race for our own good is a declaration of naivety so grand that it becomes suicidal. Firearms have given more power to the people than any declaration by a king, than any right enshrined on paper or proclaimed by a god. They've equalized the sexes more than 100 years of marches, offered protection to the physically weak, and they exist in that same sacred importance as the swords of our fathers and the knapp spears of theirs. It is a right that has been abandoned by our fathers and neglected by theirs. And while the bitter stain of apathy, of conformity, and that great old sin of sloth is theirs to bear, to be judged by, we will be bearing that same cross should we not rise to the occasion. If you are an adult and in sound mind, there is no excuse not to partake in this tradition and embrace the human spirit. Your duty to your people is to be proficient with a firearm, to defend yourself, your family, and your nation. To be a society like a porcupine, thousands of quills waiting to prick the authoritarian hand. But beyond that is about engaging in that ancient tradition, the martial tradition of brothers standing together against the world. There's never been more free content, more affordable or user-friendly platforms. Firearms are not just tools, they are a path back to our humanity, a way to reconcile ourselves with the reality of nature, of mankind, of a sacred ancient way that binds us all, our capacity for violence, noble and cruel alike, and nature's unyielding demand that we wield it.